All right, everybody, here's your Core Bites number 68. So the first one says, choose two numbers from the box to complete the sentence. And you have 42, so you've got to divide it by something to get something. And so you've got 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if you know your multiplication facts, you know that 6 times 7 is 42, or you could say 7 times 6 is 42. So the same is there for the opposite. So 42 divided by 7 gives you 6, because 6 times 7 is 42. Or you could say 42 divided by 6 equals 7. Because remember, you can flip them, they're commutative, so you can do whichever order you'd like to do. For the second one, which sign makes the sentence true? You've got 75 hundreds and 80 tens. Okay? So 75 hundreds would be this. And then 80 tens would be that. Right? So they're saying, no, that's not what they're saying. They're saying it, they're not doing decimals, guys. They're actually doing a larger number, so they're saying 7,500, so that'd be 7,500. And then they're saying 80 tens, and they're saying 800. That's what they're doing. I thought they were talking about fractions. Okay. So, yeah. So if you look at it that way, then you have 7,500 and 800. So definitely the 7,500 is larger because it's a 4-digit number compared to a 3-digit number. So your answer would be B, greater than. For your next one, now we do have those tenths and hundredths. That was what got us. So if 3 tenths equals 30 hundredths, then the sum of 3 tenths and 68 hundredths would be what? So what you do, if you know that 3 tenths is 30 hundredths, you want them to have the same denominator. So you would say, okay, 30 hundredths plus 68 hundredths equals, and so you want your denominator to stay the same, so it would be 100, and then you would just add 30 plus 68, so you would get 98, and they're both divisible by 2. So they're both even numbers, right? So you want to try to get it in simplest form. So you would divide the top and the bottom by 2. So 2 times 50 gives you 100. And then 2 times 49 gives you 98. So your answer in simplest form would be 49 over 50. And then for number 4, choose the best estimate for the measure. So we know that anything 90 degrees would be a right angle, right? So this would be 90 degrees. So it cannot be C because it's nowhere close to even 90. If you went all the way across, that would be 180. And then, so we have half. So you're thinking half of 90. And if you know your multiplication, you could figure that out if you were dividing. So half of 90 would be 45, so that one looks good. 25. If this was 25, that means it would be 50. And we already know that that would be 90 if it was a right angle. So your best estimate right there would be B, 45 degrees. And then for your last one, it says a triangle with only 2 congruent sides is called an what triangle? So this kind of gives it away. It says A-N, which means your next letter has to be a vowel, A-E-I-O-U, sometimes Y. So the triangles you know, we know equilateral, we know isosceles, right? And we know right triangle. So thinking of those, an equilateral triangle would have 3 congruent sides. So it couldn't be that. A right triangle is going to have a 90-degree triangle in it, or angle, right? So the 2 congruent sides would make it isosceles. So I-S-O-S-C-E-L-E-S. An isosceles triangle. All right, guys, make your corrections.